Hi there, good morning. So 8 pints for $60. That is 60 Singaporean dollars, which is about maybe $45 US, something like that. So I just arrived from San Francisco, flying yesterday, a direct flight from San Francisco to Singapore here, my 4th time to Singapore. 16-hour flight, one of the longest flights in the world. Arrived last night around 8 p.m. completely just, wiped out, and then woke up this morning at 4 a.m. So dealing with the jet lag situation. So obviously a Hindu temple here. Singapore is heavily influenced by various cultures, religions. There are 4 main languages. English is kind of the unofficial official language, which is widely spoken by most people in Singapore, and then Chinese, Malay, and Tamil, an Indian language. So it is currently 77 degrees Fahrenheit, that is 25 degrees Celsius. Very, very pleasant, just like the perfect temperature. It is like 8:30 in the morning or something. And I am on a breakfast hunt. I found a place on Google Maps that says that it has British breakfasts, because I'm in the mood for a proper, good, solid, big breakfast that's about a mile away. So this is going to be just a random walking through Singapore, trying to find somewhere to have breakfast, kind of a morning, and then we'll see what else. I'm probably going to have to head back to my room and get some more sleep at some point, because I am just kind of all messed up. But anyways, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be back traveling, vlogging, and I'm glad to be back in Asia. So my last video was from Tokyo, the short little one with Ben from Bald and Bankrupt and Backpacker Ben. But that was like, I've lost track, at least 3 weeks ago. And since then, I flew back to the US for Thanksgiving. Some of you may have seen my random, all of a sudden in Fairbanks, Alaska Instagram post, because I went up there with a friend and went on a sort of hunt for northern lights, which was unsuccessful, unfortunately, due to various factors, the usual being hazy skies and just the lights not showing up at the right time, and the difficulty of getting out of the city because of the very icy roads. But anyways, we had a fun time. That was with Anna from Mexico, who now lives in the US and is working here in the United States. And so I went to Alaska for like 8-9 days, something like that, and then back to Portland, where I met up with my friends Eric and his wife and their kid, their daughter, 20-something-year-old daughter, and then visited Sterling in Portland. She lives there now, and got a little taste of the really crappy Portland weather. Very cold. We got snowed on at one point. The usual gray clouds. I was like thinking about various plans, kind of all over the place, and then looked at flights to Asia, and then found this good flight. $723, including luggage. But that also included a flight from Portland. So it was a short flight from Portland to San Francisco, like 3 days ago, and then a 14-hour layover through the night. The long flight from San Francisco to Singapore, leaving at 10 in the morning. So it was kind of perfect because I got the little flight out of the way and then had the chance to get some sleep and then get up and do that long flight, which was a rough one for sure. 16 hours is a long time on a plane. I've done it like once before that long, flying back from India. Okay, time to check my map and figure out which way to go from here to try to get to that breakfast place. So pardon the kind of random talking about various things, and also just being kind of distracted, and I'm like half awake. So let's go find some food and see more of Singapore along the way. Let's check out what's at the Maxwell Food Center. The usual very interesting looking noodle type stuff. But I'm not in the mood for noodles for breakfast, so that is why I'm going out of my way. Ducks, it looks like. Happy food. I'm sure this is a good spot for some reasonably priced dishes. So here you have the prices. So $2.80, so that's like $2 US. $3 again, like $2 to $3 for everything there. That is great to see, because Singapore is definitely not a cheap country, especially for Asia. My taxi last night from the airport was like $37. And then, as you saw there, my room is really expensive for a super basic room. That should be like $40 or whatever. Like in Tokyo, I had much nicer rooms for less, and then elsewhere in Japan, and I had like really awesome rooms for $40, $50, $60. But Singapore is an economic powerhouse in the middle of Southeast Asia, a very wealthy little country, island nation at the tip of the Malaysian peninsula, and one of the most expensive countries in the world, and also very famous for being very clean and safe and super modern and high-tech. Lots and lots of skyscrapers. So I'm here for just 3 nights, and then in 3 days flying to Bali for my second time there. The last time was in 2013, so I decided it was a good time to go back, revisit, see what's happening there, which is going to be a lot, as in a lot of other travelers and social media influencers and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know how long I will end up staying there. Probably not a long time, but was just kind of curious to check it out since it's a very cheap flight. I think it was like $130 or something for the flight to Bali. And then we'll see after that. No idea yet. But I do have some ideas, including very possibly Australia. Finally, it's about time. I haven't been there yet, so we'll see. But it is quite close to Bali, and there should be nice cheap flights. So I'm definitely thinking about Australia finally getting down under. I love all the trees in Singapore. Lots of greenery in the city. All right, let's get serious about walking because I am really hungry. So this is the Buddha Tooth Relic Temple and Museum. I guess I can walk in here with the shoes on. It smells really nice. That incense is amazing. All right, let's keep on walking. A whole bunch of restaurants here that aren't open. Chinatown street market. So this must be very happening later in the day. 2 pints for $18. That isn't exactly cheap. And then lots of interesting foods. Not sure if this is Nonbai Izakaya. Okay, that sounds Japanese. Sashimi platters. Okay, yeah. And then a breakfast place. So we'll see what I find along the way here. Maybe I'll end up stopping at another restaurant along the way if I find something that looks good. But for now, it is worth the walk-in to see what there is to see. Look at that. Really cool mural. Pretty good street art and depicting a more traditional sort of a scene. Okay, what fruit is that? The big ones? Dang it, I forget. Is that breadfruit? Anyway, a pretty cool area here. But where is everybody? Obviously too early for Singaporeans to be out drinking and eating. It must be a very, very lively spot at certain times, though. I'm sure in the evenings. And of course 7-Eleven. I will definitely be stopping there later and getting some assorted drinks and snacks or whatever. All right, a little bit of action going on. The city coming to life. We have an artist, and a very good one by the looks of it. Pretty cool area. I don't think that I've been right in this area before. Whoa. Whatever that is, like grubs, worms or whatever. Weird. Man, oh man. Egg fish skin. That is a snack. What does that even mean? Egg fish skin? Just the skin of the eggs? Weird. What have we got here? Sausages, crispy wafers. Golden sand salmon skin. Man, oh man, there are some strange foods in Singapore. Bacon, chili, bakwa. Tsing Tao, I think that is a beer. Right? Or, yeah. Also Harbin beer, haven't heard of that one. Sounds more English since 1900, so probably that is because of the British influence. Singapore was a British colony for quite a while. Thus the English language, Mosque Street. Okay, we're headed in the right direction now. 21-minute walk away. And it should be a very interesting walk. Loving this stroll through the city when it isn't crazy. It is definitely heating up. It is now at the point where it's feeling actually kind of too hot. But at least it isn't pouring down rain. The weather shows rain every day, but it is just for certain periods of time. The usual tropical back and forth. Rain to clouds to sun, to rain to clouds to sun. And keep in mind that Singapore is a place you really don't want to break the rules. So I'm not sure about jaywalking, but you know, be careful. And don't spit. Or spit out gum. Gum might be illegal in general. Not sure about that, but I think that maybe gum is just completely not allowed in Singapore. Just be conscious of not doing rude stuff, and you should be good. Another nice little food court area. Look at these beverages. Whoa. Lime juice, iced lemon tea, water chestnut juice, iced coffee, barley something. They got eggs, beers, mangosteen. And look at these, that looks good. Mexican grilled chicken, chicken cutlet, fish and chips. So pretty good prices. So that is like maybe $9 or something. Like $6 for fish and chips. Fishball noodle soup, about $3.50. Restrooms. A bunch more dishes. Is that Chinese maybe? Beef ramen, kimchi. So that is Korean kimchi. Yeah, Korean fried rice cake, okay. coffee bento. Man, the food scene is definitely happening in Singapore. But gonna keep on cruising. That English breakfast is sounding really good. Let's hope that it's actually open and available. Okay. What is that? I'm forgetting. I don't think that I've ever had it before, but of course you see it everywhere in Asia. South Asia, at least. Is that breadfruit or let's check the phone and find out. Beautiful flowers here. Especially considering that it is December, not spring. But Singapore is 1 degree north of the equator, and so it is just kind of always warm, tropical, humid weather here. Okay, so yes, that is breadfruit that I was seeing. So I was curious, which is the most expensive country in Asia? And no surprise, this is it. Singapore is now the most expensive Asian country to live in. This is from December 2nd, 2021, a year ago. Globally, Singapore comes second to Tel Aviv, which is now the most expensive city in the world to live in. So Tel Aviv, Israel is number one. Singapore is the second most expensive in the world, but most expensive in Asia. According to an index compiled by the Economist Intelligence Unit, Singapore is now the most expensive Asian city in the world to live in and is tied with Paris as the second most expensive city in the world to live in globally. Singapore is, of course, both a city and a country. It is a city-state, basically just the one main island and then some little islets around it. But there is no capital of Singapore because Singapore is just Singapore City. Going over the waterway here, I'm not sure how far away the sea is, but it can't be far. And getting very close to the cafe that I'm going to. That could be a good option there as well. Probably breakfast stuff. Oh yeah. Oh wow. That looks tasty. Well, let's check out this place, and then if it doesn't work, definitely come back here. Okay, I think that this must be it right here. Grounded. Definitely a coffee place, and this is right where the map was pointing me to, so. Yep, Common Man Coffee Roasters. Very happening spot. Hello, one for breakfast?
Was it by the window?
Sure, that's right. So breakfast served all day, that is awesome. And some good looking stuff, not cheap. $18 Singaporean, so I still don't have the conversion figured out exactly, but that is like 12, 13 bucks I think, maybe $14. Acai bowl, savory stack, mushroom avocado toast, so I'm gonna go for something pretty substantial, and they have some very interesting drinks. I think I'm going for this. Ginger blush with gin, rose water, lemon, and a dash of ginger beer. Whoa, that is not cheap either. $18 Singaporean. But sounds good, and that sounds really refreshing. So it is definitely living up to being the most expensive city in Asia. Not sure how well you can see here, but I have the conversion to various currencies. So the breakfast itself is 30 Singaporean dollars and the drink is 18. So that is, of course, very extravagant. You can get much cheaper prices by going local or just to a less like trendy place. But still, just to give you an idea of what a like hip place with Western style breakfast will cost you. 30 bucks for the breakfast, 18 for the drink. That is $48 Singaporean. So Canadian, that is also $48, but US it is $35.50. In euros, it is 33 euros 60. So that is pretty dang crazy for breakfast and a drink, but it should be really good. And here we go. This looks absolutely amazing. I guess this might be the British breakfast because there wasn't an actual breakfast called a British breakfast, but this is very similar with sausage, baked beans, egg, tomato, mushrooms, spinach, and then not sure what that is. I think that is probably the hash browns. And then bread under the eggs there, some sourdough bread. That looks delicious and very substantial. Still waiting on the drink. Okay, this is definitely not what I was expecting, especially for $18. It's tiny. I thought it was going to be like this big thing with ice and all kinds of stuff in it. Okay, it's all just mixed in, I guess. Looks very refreshing, but a lot smaller than I expected. That's the main thing. Let's give it a taste. Whoa. It's really nice. But yeah, just small. Alright, gonna dig in here. Looking forward to it. So there was actually a service charge plus added tax. So the grand total was actually 56.50 Singaporean dollars. That is 42 bucks. I think that might win for the most expensive breakfast I've had ever. And it's raining out there. So I'm back at the other place that I'd seen after walking over the bridge. Wanted to compare the prices. They still aren't cheap, so they have a large breakfast that is $20 instead of $30 for the one that I just had, but it isn't as good looking at all. It's just eggs, one sausage, a piece of bread, and then maybe some bratwurst sausage, bacon, tomatoes, kind of similar but smaller it seems like, and then a side bowl for $16, mixed fruit salad for $8, barbecue mushroom tortilla for $12, house-made pancakes for $13, just for, looks like just a couple of pancakes for $13. So it is like a lot more expensive than if you go to Denny's or something, then you'll get a much better deal back in the US. So Singapore is definitely seriously expensive. And so I'm now making the walk over to the Merlion, the famous statue on the harbor, looking out at the Marina Bay Sands Hotel, the strange hotel that looks like it has a boat on top. Okay, that is going to do it for this video of Singapore, but I'm here for 2 more days, so definitely more coming. See ya.